Jacobean period. It's a short time of period which comes after Elizabethan age. After the death of Queen Elizabeth, her distant relative James VI ascended the throne of England. Because she was a virgin queen, never got married, and had no child, James VI was the King of Scotland from 1567, son of Mary I and Henry Stuart. James VI born on 19th June 1566 AD, and he was proclaimed King of Scotland just 11 months after his birth. And after ascended the throne of England, he became known as King James I. In Latin, his name was Jacobus, so that's how we got the name Jacobean. He was fluent in Greek, Latin, French, and English language. He was a talented writer. He wrote Demonology, the True Law of Free Monarchies, Basilic on Doron, and he hated tobacco, so he also wrote Counterblast to Tobacco. King James I published English translation of Holy Bible, which is also known as James' Version of Bible. It published in 1611 AD. This book was written over 7 years. He continued ruled 3 kingdoms for 22 years: Scotland, England, and Ireland. But as a king, he was not so popular. He was a weak and foolish king. In this period, religion had an important role in the society. King James I was a Protestant believer, and after got the throne of England, he became the head of the church, and Protestant became much powerful than before. King James I brought out some new rules in the church, which was against Catholics, and day by day the Catholics were felt so much rage against the Protestant king. Robert Catesby and Guy Fawkes was the member of Catholic group. Robert Catesby was the leader. They plotted to assassinate King James I by blowing up the house with gunpowder in 5th November 1605. But in this incident, Guy Fawkes' name associated above all because he caught red-handed in 4th November's night. And many more were involved in this incident. So this conspiracy did not work, and this incident known as the gunpowder plot. All of them were ordered to be hanged, but Guy Fawkes tried to escape and he jumped from gallows and he broke his neck and died instantly. Now come to the literature. In this period, theatre was flourishing. King James I was also a fan of arts and theatre, just like Queen Elizabeth. Shakespeare gave some of his best tragedy in this period, like King Lear, Macbeth, The Tempest. Tragedy and satire was at its peak during this period. Modern science progressed in this period by Francis Bacon. He is best known for his promotion of the scientific method. He was also an English Renaissance statesman and philosopher. He is known as the father of empiricism. He was the High Lord Chancellor of Great Britain. His significant works are Novum Organum, which was published in 1620 AD, The New Atlantis, that advancement of learning, the wisdom of the ancients. Robert Burton, he is best known for his The Anatomy of Melancholy, which was published in 1621 AD. In this period, metaphysical poetry began. John Donne is the most famous member of the metaphysical poets. He was an English poet, scholar, soldier, and later he became a cleric. He wrote sonnets, love poems, religious poems. His important works are The Flea. It's a metaphysical poem which was published in 1633. The Sun Rising. It's a 30-line poem with 3 stanza. And obviously The Good Morrow and the Canonization and more. George Herbert. He is recognized as one of the foremost British devotional lyricists. He was a metaphysical poet, and his important works are The Temple and Country Person, Jacula Prudentum. Ben Jonson. His full name, Benjamin Jonson. He was the second most important English dramatist after Shakespeare in this period. His famous works are Comedy of Humours, The Alchemist, The Devil is an Ass, and more. John Webster. He is best known for his tragedies, The White Devil and The Duchess of Malfi. Religious poets were Henry Vaughan and Thomas Trajan. Both of them were influenced by John Donne. So I hope this video will help you a little bit